Update coming in with regards to the NIA's observations. The NIA submitting the charge sheet in the PFI case where youth in Rajasthan were being radicalized. So this case pertains to Rajasthan and the 2047 agenda of the PFI that stands exposed if we go by this charge sheet very closely. The charges are as follows: ultimate objective of establishing Islamic rule in India by 2047, driving a wedge between different communities in India through radicalization and arms training of gullible Muslim youth. The accused also found actively promoting enmity between different religious groups in India and motivating them to resort to violent means to establish Islamic rule in the country. Radicalized gullible Muslim youth by brainwashing into believing that Islam was in danger in India. Let me quickly go across to Bhavtosh joining us live with more details. Bhavtosh, this is very crucial and key to the ongoing investigation, but very sensational in that sense. The fact that the NIA, in as many words in the charge sheet, says that they have been able to find out with evidence that the ultimate objective of Islamic rule in India by 2047 was on the agenda as far as this PFI involvement is concerned. So much so that they wanted to drive a wedge between different communities in India through radicalization and also arms training.
In fact, this has been filed. This charge sheet has been filed because PFI was banned in September. Last September it was banned, and several of its top leadership was arrested by the NIA under various sections of UPA, which is anti-terror law. And after carrying out its own investigation over a period of 6 months, NIA arrested them. Now, in the statement that has been issued by the Federal Probe Agency, they have said something which is very startling, but they have said that there was an attempt by PFI to establish Islamic rule by 2047. Remember, various pamphlets that have been seized by NIA earlier had mentioned that PFI wanted to establish Islamic rule by 2047. Then these pamphlets were also seized in Fulbari Sharif. Then importantly, they have said that weapon training was done for Muslim youth to carry out violent incident. This again was seized and during raids and searches. Importantly, in the remand note of various accused and the leaders, when they were arrested and produced in courts across the country, this point was also raised. Importantly, they have also said that the Muslim youth were impressionable minds of Muslim youth were being radicalized by the top leadership, so that they believe that they are being in a way being discriminated in the country. Now, that's what the NIA has said, that an attempt was being made to radicalize Muslim youth, to make them believe as if their gullible minds were being radicalized, so that they believe that they are being targeted in the country. Now, these are the findings of the first charge sheet that NIA has filed against the top PFI leadership. Back to you.
Absolutely. This is with regards to the two accused in the case against whom this charge sheet has been filed. Aditi is joining us with more details and key excerpts of that charge sheet. This goes back to the case in Rajasthan, Aditi, but the agenda is very clear and it stands completely exposed as far as this charge sheet is concerned.
As rightly said by you and Bhavtosh, we have the charge sheet and that details a lot of things. Now, the NIA states that on completion of major part of the investigation into the case relating to the activities and agenda of violent extremism of PFI being pursued in Rajasthan, the NIA has filed a charge sheet against two accused yesterday. The case was registered in September 2022 to probe the criminal conspiracy which had been hatched. Now, let me highlight which had been hatched by PFI leaders, cadres, with the aim of driving a wedge between two different communities in India through radicalization and arms training of gullible Muslim youth, training them in handling of weapons and explosives and raising funds for carrying out acts of terror and violence, with the ultimate objective of establishing Islamic rule in India by 2047. Now, these are very much shocking remarks that have been made in the charge sheet, and you can see what the agenda of PFI is and how the NIA is detailing each and every detail. Moreover, the two accused have been identified as Muhammad Ashif, resident of Kota, and they are trained PFI members who were involved in recruitment and radicalization of impressionable Muslim youth for the PFI for committing violent acts. Now, major revelation has been done in the NIA charge sheet. They were also found involved in organizing training camps, in handling of weapons and explosives, in instigating PFI cadres to pick up arms and raising funds for carrying out violent activities. They were also found actively promoting enmity between different religious groups in India and motivating the youth to resort to violent means to establish Islamic rule in the country. So you can see how the NIA has detailed each and every point of what the agenda of the PFI is. It is clearly to establish a caliphate in the country by 2047 and driving a wedge between religious communities in India.
All right, accused were found actively promoting enmity between different religious groups in India, motivating them to resort to violent means to establish Islamic rule in the country. Bhavtosh, the NIA in the past as well, with regards to investigations in other cases, has found out a similar agenda and a toolkit at play. So very concerning. But thank you for joining us with all those details. Thank you, Aditi, for breaking down that charge sheet for us. With that, it's time for us to head into a quick break. We'll be right back with more news and updates.